everyone! So today I am excited to share how I managed to travel to New Zealand for 6 nights and 9 days with just 23万円, which I guess is really, it's considered to be a lower, and the money we spent while in New Zealand is not counted in, so I'm just going to focus on traveling costs today. And let's chat about how you can save money by traveling on your own instead of going on expensive tours. And have you ever wondered why tour costs so much? Well, imagine this. A typical tour of my trip, which is, like I said, 6 nights and 9 days with hotel and flight tickets, and often cost over 30万円. But here's the thing, tours has a lot of benefit as well, come with guided tour sightseeing and everything arranged for you, which is pretty nice. Because you can feel relaxed and don't worry about things, because if you have some problem with something while you're on a trip, you can always ask them like, oh, what should I do, like that. But it's pricey and less freedom. On the other hand, planning your own trip gives you more freedom, but it takes a lot of work. Okay, let's talk about flight costs. So for the full trip, including both international flight and domestic flight, it costed us about 15万円. In detail, like we flew from Kansai Airport and stepped over in Hong Kong and landed in Auckland in New Zealand. And we also wanted to explore in a different city in New Zealand, so we also took a domestic flight from Auckland to Queenstown, which was the place where we rent a car and explore a lot of places, including a mountain and nature. It was a pretty good place. But we booked our ticket just a month before, which is not super early. But if you booked 3 months ahead, you might find a good deals. Cheaper deals, I guess. I always do that when I'm planning to overseas with my friend. I always book the ticket before, 3 months before. Yeah, and we booked the ticket online, the app called Skyscanner. I always use that because it's always the place you can find a cheaper deals. And next, accommodation, where we stayed for 6 nights, 2 nights in Auckland and 4 nights in Queenstown. All of them were at Airbnb. I always use Airbnb when I'm traveling because you can find a good place to stay, and also it's kind of cheap. Hotels can be a bit pricey, about over 1万円 for a night. Because you are traveling, it's worth paying that money, but with Airbnb, you can share the cost and find some really cool places. But just gotta be smart about finding places. You have to read a review before booking the place, because sometimes if it's really cheap, the place could be pretty far from the station, or it's not convenient to stay. Probably the place is a bit dirty, so you're gonna have to read a review. And we only spend about 5万円 for each. So for 2 person, 10万円, which is pretty cheap, I guess, because you could easily spend more than 10万円 for each person. And we also hired rental car, and it was about 25,000 yen, including insurance. So for each, it was about maybe 13,000 yen or something. We also got a SIM card and international driver license when we were in Japan, about 5,000 yen for each. And that's all about traveling cost. Flight tickets, accommodation fee, and renting a car, SIM card, and an international driver license. Like I said, 23万円. About 23万円, I guess. And I think whole cost, that including the fee I spent, we spent in New Zealand, would be about 7万円 for each. So for 1 person, you spend 30万円 on this trip, I guess. But as I said earlier, it's considered to be cheap. If you're gonna do that on like tour, it might cost 1.5 double. I don't know, like I have never tried traveling using tour. I always do that on my own because I want to cut the cost, and the cost I can save, I can use that when I'm on a trip. I can have lots of fun. Yeah, that's what I do always. And I think because in New Zealand there is a lot of places that you can enjoy without paying money. Hiking, because we did hiking, and just driving, watching sunset, sunrise. I mean, we wanted to experience the nature, and Buka is not that expensive, I guess. I really enjoy traveling in New Zealand. It's not related to the topic, but I also highly recommend renting a car in New Zealand when you're traveling in New Zealand. For example, in Queenstown, there are so much places that you can visit, but if you don't have a driver license and you can only use the bus, you don't really see the bus or taxi in that place. You might struggle with finding a car or buses, but yeah, if you have a little car, it's always easy because you can just go wherever you want and whenever you want, right? It was our first time to rent a car in New Zealand and drive it. So it was, I really wondered, should I rent a car or just go on a bus? It's worth renting a car. So what do you think about this video? With some planning and smart choices, you can save tons of money on traveling costs, and you can use it more when you are traveling. Going on your own takes you a lot of work rather than going to a tour guide, but it's worth doing because you can have more freedom, as I said. And that's all. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe, and consider this as your guide for your next trip. I really hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have any question or request about saving or my trip to New Zealand, just leave a comment. I'll be appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye.